40 universities charge students more money if they have divorced parents. Hell of a thing. Put it at full mass. This sounds ridiculous, right? Well, it is. Universities make students with divorced parents pay more money. According to a federal lawsuit, Penn, Villanova, and 38 other universities allegedly formed a cartel of sorts to make students with divorced parents actually pay more money. The class action lawsuits alleged that the 40 universities conspired with College Board to offer financial aid based on the income of a divorced parent, even if that parent does not have custody. The proposed class action lawsuit filed October 7th in the Northern District of Illinois by two college graduates with divorced parents says that the private universities made students with divorced parents pay more by taking into account the income of both parents when determining institutional financial aid, even when only one parent had custody. Now, I'm going to tell you, there are some more universities that probably should be part of this, okay? And when you go through your federal financial aid application, typically you still have to put the financials of the parent who's not there, meaning not contributing to expenses, et cetera. I remember going through this as a student myself many years ago. I know they've updated it since, but I was a foster kid. And it was complex. We had to end up getting a waiver from the government to understand I had no parent or parental income in order to show. That model has gotten better, but it is still riddled with opportunities for exploitation. And this is one of them. The lawsuit also names the College Board itself, the nonprofit that administers college applications, as a participant in the alleged conspiracy to lower the amount of federal or financial aid that the university offers the student. The statement from the attorney who filed the suit, quote, "We believe our antitrust attorneys have uncovered a major influence on the rising cost of higher education." Steve Berman, co-founder of the Seattle-based law firm Higgins Berman, which filed the lawsuit, said in a statement. In addition to Penn and Villanova, the lawsuit names other universities, including Carnegie. No New Jersey universities were named in this suit. Pennsylvania is the state with the third highest average student debt in the country at over $39,000, according to Wallet Hub, a personal finance website. And nearly 2/3 of students in Pennsylvania universities have taken on debt. College Board issued a statement, quote, "But we are confident that we will prevail in this action and we will continue to support our member colleges," that statement said in part. So let's back up. The business model for a university is based on what? On the students. You see, the student is the consumer of the product. The product that you're selling is education, higher education to be exact. So your consumer base is saying what you're doing doesn't make sense to the model of higher education, nor of ethics and morality contextualized through the academic arena. And so they are finally speaking out. I'm glad they're speaking out. I had no idea that some of these institutions were part of something like this, but think about it in the terms of just common sense. All right, let's get away from the college talk for a minute. If you're going to allocate aid or assistance based on income, based on the income of the parents, why would it make sense to take into consideration the parental income of someone who does not contribute to the well-being of the student, or that individual may not have contributed to the well-being of their student for a significant period of time? Why would you take that income into consideration if there's a divorce in front of you? And sometimes colleges make you produce these documents to prove it. If you have a divorce record in front of you, why not simply take into consideration the custodial parent so that you can allocate the aid necessary for the student to achieve in an environment of higher academics. That's real simple. That's how most colleges do it. All right, Francesca, thoughts here?
I mean, I'd really think this story gets to the heart of what is wrong with universities and colleges. Look, we're constantly defending them on an intellectual level, right? On an educational level, on a robust society level against the right that is so allergic to higher learning. And they want just little worker bees who barely have a college education. They want to keep people poor. That is their agenda. But when you really come down to it, and this is the thing we all have to know and concede, colleges and universities are in the business of making money off the backs of their students and their families. And what's ironic about this is ostensibly the financial aid was withheld from them. So, giving them access to less money, less financial support, but that's all just debt that they would have incurred anyway. So
Right.
it doesn't even make sense. And again, these are 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds who are being locked into these debts that you can never file bankruptcy over. These incredible schemes, with these rising interest rates. Again, after the pandemic, like despite Biden's efforts, some college debt has been relieved, but a lot of it is game on right now. So I think this is the fundamental problem with universities, which is why we need, just like in healthcare, a public option when it comes to higher education. We need to break the fact that these are really financial institutions that are just kind of like caping as educational institutions, but more and more they're financialized, and gouging their students is part of that. And so of course they're going to be like, no, we're going to take into consideration your estranged father's income who
Right.
you've never seen for years and years and years. It's just a way to cut corners and again make shareholders money.
Yeah, well said. We're going to follow this story, obviously near and dear to my heart as a professor. And if you have a public option in every state, hopefully multiple public options, you then force the market to compete with that public option. And it lowers the cost of higher education. As you're well aware, a whole lot of money that's spent in higher education has nothing to do with higher education. And that becomes one of the dilemmas. All right, we're going to continue to follow the story.